Ladies and gentlemen, we all talk about working hard, but let me tell you something that the old school hustlers might not want to admit. Working hard is just the start. If you want to build something real, if you want to leave your mark, you have to work smart. That's where the magic happens. I know you have heard people say, just keep your head down and work harder than anyone else. And yes, there's beauty in that. There's discipline and power in hard work. But what happens when you keep working hard, harder, hardest, and still feel stuck? You start to realize it's not about how many hours you put in. It's about how you use those hours. It's about working smart. Working smart means knowing what truly matters. When you're surrounded by endless to-do lists, tasks that keep piling up, and noise from every direction, it's easy to lose sight of what's actually important. Smart work starts with the art of prioritizing. It's not about doing everything. It's about doing the right thing. Imagine you're standing in a crowded room with voices all around you. Each voice wants your attention. Each voice wants you to react. But you're not here to respond to everything. You're here to find the voice that matters, the task that will move you closer to your dream. That's what it means to work smart. To truly know what matters, you have to pause and reflect. Take a moment and ask yourself, what's the one thing I can do today that will make everything else easier or even unnecessary? That's the power question of smart work. It's the question that cuts through the noise and shines a light on your priorities. Knowing what truly matters also means having the courage to say no. This is not easy. We've been raised to believe that saying yes to everything is how we prove our worth. But here's the truth. Saying yes to everything is the fastest way to burn out. You can't be everywhere. You can't do it all. Working smart means saying no to the things that don't align with your bigger purpose, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. Smart work is also about looking for patterns. When you step back and look at the bigger picture, you start to see the connections between your efforts and your results. You realize that some tasks are giving you way more value than others. You realize that certain habits or ways of doing things are actually slowing you down. And when you see that, you can shift your energy to what really counts. This is where focus comes in. Focus is your superpower. When you're focused on what matters, you stop feeling like you're spinning your wheels. You stop measuring your worth by how busy you are. Instead, you measure it by how effective you're being. To work smart, you also have to stay flexible. The world keeps changing, and what worked yesterday might not work today. So don't get too attached to your routines. Be willing to adapt. Be willing to try something new if the old ways aren't working. That's how you stay ahead. And let's talk about the emotional side of this. When you know what truly matters, you feel more grounded. You feel less scattered, less anxious, because you're not pulled in 1,000 directions. Your mind becomes clearer, your heart becomes lighter, because you're not trying to please everyone or do everything. Smart work is about intention. It's about making choices that reflect who you are and what you want to build. It's about aligning your daily actions with your bigger vision. When you do that, you'll find a quiet kind of joy in your work, because every step you take feels meaningful. Every moment you invest feels like it's building towards something real. So let the noise fade. Let the clutter fall away. Keep your eyes on what truly matters. That's how you work smart. Balance your hard work with strategic thinking. Hard work is the sweat and the grind, the willingness to put in long hours and never back down. But strategic thinking, that's the secret sauce. It's what sets apart those who are just busy from those who are actually making progress. Think of hard work as the engine of your car and strategic thinking as the steering wheel. You need both to move forward and reach the right destination. When you only rely on hard work, you might find yourself taking the longest road possible. You keep moving, sure, but are you moving in the right direction? Are you getting closer to where you actually want to go? That's why strategy matters. It helps you see the big picture, the map of your journey, so you're not just driving in circles. Strategic thinking starts with clarity. It's about asking yourself what the real goal is, not just what looks good on paper or what other people expect of you, but what truly matters to you. Once you have that clear in your mind, you can use your hard work to power you forward. But without that clarity, your effort can feel like water in the sand. All that energy, but no real result. Balancing hard work and strategy also means knowing when to pause and reflect. It's tempting to keep going, to keep your head down and push through the noise. But taking a step back lets you see patterns you might have missed. It lets you ask, is this really working? Is there a better way? Those questions are the fuel for strategic thinking. And here's the thing. Strategy isn't just about plans and charts. It's about curiosity. It's about being open to the idea that there might be another way, maybe a better way. It's about testing, learning, and adjusting your course as you go. This is where your creativity comes alive. When you're willing to see things from a different angle, you unlock doors that hard work alone might never open. Let's be honest. Sometimes the world rewards the ones who just keep going. But more often, it rewards the ones who keep going in the smartest way possible. So, don't just measure your progress by how exhausted you feel at the end of the day. Measure it by how much closer you're getting to your real goals. Strategic thinking also means knowing how to use your resources. It's about seeing where you can delegate, where you can automate, and where you can focus your personal energy for the biggest impact. This isn't about doing less. It's about doing what matters most. Working smart doesn't mean you're cutting corners or taking the easy way out. It means you're taking the wise way in. You're making your work matter. You're using your energy like a laser, not a floodlight. That's the beauty of balance. And here's a secret. Strategic thinking doesn't make hard work less important. It makes it more powerful. Because when you're working hard on the right things, you feel more alive, more connected to your purpose. You're not just ticking boxes or filling up your calendar. You're building something that actually matters. So keep your hustle alive, but let your mind wander. Let your curiosity spark new ideas. The combination of both, the relentless effort and the sharp thinking, is what will take you further than you can imagine. Because balance isn't just a nice idea. It's the core of real progress. When you find that balance, you find a rhythm that's not only sustainable but also deeply satisfying. You're not just moving. You're moving forward in a way that's true to you, in a way that builds something lasting and real. Eliminate tasks that do not serve your purpose. Life is full of distractions, and work can be a maze of busy work that makes you feel like you are getting somewhere, even when you are really just running in circles. Working smart means cutting through that noise. It means taking a close look at every single thing you do and asking yourself, does this move me closer to where I want to be, or is it just taking up space? The truth is, not everything on your plate is worth your energy. Some tasks are there because they always have been, because someone told you they were important, or because they give you a sense of comfort. But comfort can be a trap. It can keep you tied to things that drain your time and leave you feeling stuck. That is why working smart is about being ruthless in how you spend your time. Start by getting clear on what your purpose actually is. What is the bigger goal you are working towards? What matters most to you in the long run? When you have that clarity, it becomes a filter for everything else. You can start to see which tasks actually align with that purpose, and which ones are just clutter in your day. Eliminating what does not serve you is not about being cold or cutting corners. It is about respecting your own energy, your own time, your own dream. It is about giving yourself the freedom to focus on what really matters. Because every moment you spend on something that does not move you forward is a moment you could have spent building something that does. Sometimes the hardest part is saying no. We live in a world that loves to fill every minute with activity. There is a sense of pride in being busy, in always having something to do. But if you are busy with things that do not matter, you are not really moving. You are just wearing yourself out. Learn to say no without guilt. Learn to see that your worth is not tied to how much you do, but to how much of what you do is meaningful. When you start to let go of the tasks that do not serve your purpose, you make room for the work that does. You make room for the things that light you up, that make you feel alive, that remind you why you started in the first place. This is not always easy. It can feel like you are going against the grain, like you are disappointing people who expect you to keep doing everything you have always done. But remember that working smart is not about pleasing everyone else. It is about building a life that feels true to you. Letting go also means trusting yourself. Trusting that you know what matters most, even if it does not match what other people expect. Trusting that you have the wisdom to see what is truly important and the courage to act on it. As you start to eliminate the unnecessary, you will notice something powerful. Your mind will feel clearer. Your energy will feel stronger. You will stop feeling like you are being pulled in 100 directions at once. Instead, you will feel focused, like every step you take is part of something bigger. And this is where the magic of working smart really begins. When you are no longer weighed down by tasks that do not matter, you can give your best to the work that does. You can go deeper. You can think more creatively. You can bring your whole self to what you do. That is not just good for you, it is good for everyone who depends on you. Everyone who looks up to you, everyone who believes in what you are building. Because when you focus on what really matters, you are not just working. You are creating something real, something lasting, something that comes from the deepest part of who you are. Learn from those who have already succeeded. In a world that celebrates originality, we sometimes forget the quiet power of following in the footsteps of those who have been there before. Working smart does not mean you have to reinvent the wheel. It means you have to understand how the wheel works and then make it roll even faster in your own way. There is no shame in learning from the people who have already walked the path you want to walk. In fact, it is one of the smartest things you can do. When you take the time to study those who have already made it, you save yourself from years of trial and error. You get to learn from their mistakes, their victories, their ways of thinking. You see how they turned obstacles into stepping stones, how they kept going even when it felt like the world was against them. These lessons are like a map, showing you not just the destination, but the twists and turns along the way. But learning from others is not about copying them. It is about understanding the principles behind their success. It is about seeing the mindset that carried them forward. It is about taking what fits you and leaving the rest behind. Because your journey will never look exactly like anyone else's. You're unique, and your story will be too. There is a quiet strength in humility. It takes courage to admit that you do not have all the answers. It takes wisdom to see that someone else's experience can be the key that unlocks your next breakthrough. So be open to learn. Be open to seeking out mentors, to reading the books that have stood the test of time, to listening to the stories of people who have done what you dream of doing. Sometimes we think we have to figure it all out alone, but that is the slow way. The wise way is to stand on the shoulders of giants, to see farther because they have already cleared some of the fog. You do not lose your originality by learning from them. You gain perspective. You gain insight that can sharpen your own ideas and turn them into something powerful. The world has always been built by those who learn from each other. Every great artist was first a student. Every powerful leader first followed. Every innovator stood in the shadows of those who came before and learned how to shine in their own light. That is not weakness. That is the natural flow of wisdom, passing from one hand to another. Learning from those who have succeeded is also about respect. It is about honoring the journey that brought them to where they are. It is about understanding that success is not just luck or talent, but a blend of patience, resilience, and strategy. When you see that clearly, you can bring those same qualities into your own work. And let's not forget the practical side. When you study someone who has already done what you want to do, you save time. You avoid the pitfalls that can swallow your progress whole. You learn the shortcuts that are not about cutting corners, but about focusing on what really works. That is the quiet advantage of smart work. You do not have to be a carbon copy of anyone else. Your journey will always have its own twist, its own rhythm. But by learning from those who have already climbed the mountain, you give yourself a head start. You give yourself the gift of perspective, the gift of insight, the gift of knowing that you are never truly alone in this journey. When you bring their lessons into your own story, you weave a tapestry of experience that is stronger, richer, and far more resilient than if you had tried to go it alone. Make time to recharge your mind and body. In a world that worships busyness, it can feel like rest is a luxury or even a sign of weakness. But the truth is, without rest, without giving yourself the space to breathe and renew, you are running on empty. Working smart is not about going full speed all the time. It is about knowing when to push and when to pull back. Your mind is like a well. If you keep drawing water without letting it refill, it will eventually run dry. Creativity, clarity, and focus all need space to grow. When you are tired, everything feels harder. The smallest tasks become mountains. The spark that fuels your work starts to fade. That is why working smart means recognizing the signs of burnout before they become a fire you cannot put out. Rest is not just about sleep, though sleep is a powerful form of renewal. It is about finding moments in your day when you can pause and let your thoughts settle. It is about stepping away from the constant noise and letting yourself just be. Those quiet moments are not wasted time. They are the soil in which your best ideas can grow. Sometimes the best thing you can do for your work is to walk away from it for a while. Let your mind wander. Let yourself feel bored. Boredom can be a gateway to creativity because it gives your brain the chance to explore new connections, new ways of seeing things. When you come back to your work, you bring a fresh perspective, a new energy that can take you further than endless grinding ever could. Recharging also means taking care of your body. Your body is the vessel that carries your ideas, your passions, your dreams. When you treat it with respect through movement, through good food, through simple acts of kindness, you give yourself a foundation that can support whatever you want to build. A tired body makes for a tired mind, and a tired mind cannot work smart. This is not about being lazy or avoiding hard work. It is about working with your natural rhythms, not against them. It is about listening to the quiet voice inside that tells you when you need to slow down. It is about giving yourself the grace to pause, knowing that when you return, you will be stronger for it. Making time to recharge also means setting boundaries. It means learning to say no to the demands that drain you, to the endless stream of notifications that pull you away from what really matters. It means creating pockets of peace in your day, even if they are just a few minutes long. Those moments are like tiny breaths of air that keep you from suffocating under the weight of your responsibilities. It can feel like the world will fall apart if you take a break, but the world keeps spinning, even when you step back. And when you come back, you are able to give more, not less, because you are not giving from a place of exhaustion, but from a place of fullness. Working smart is about sustainability. It is about building a life that can last, not just a day that can be survived. It is about seeing rest as part of the work, not something separate from it. Because when you take the time to recharge, you are investing in your future, in your ability to keep going, in your power to create and build and grow. So do not wait for permission to rest. Do not wait for someone else to tell you it is okay to take a breath. You know your limits better than anyone. Trust yourself. Honor your need for stillness, because in that stillness you will find not just relief, but the strength and vision you need to keep moving forward. You will find a way to work smarter, not just harder, and to build a life that feels as good as it looks. Question your old routines and find better ways. It is easy to fall into the same habits every day, to wake up and move through your routine without even thinking about it. It feels safe, predictable. There is comfort in the known, even when the known does not serve you anymore. Working smart means stepping back and looking at those routines with fresh eyes. It means asking yourself whether the things you do every day are actually getting you closer to where you want to be. The habits that carried you here might not carry you there. This is a truth that can be hard to swallow, especially if you have put years into building those habits. But life does not stand still, and neither should you. The world changes, your dreams evolve, and your routines must evolve with them. If they do not, you risk getting stuck in a loop that keeps you busy but never truly fulfilled. Questioning your old routines does not mean throwing everything away. It means taking a close look at what is working and what is not. It means being honest with yourself about what is helping you grow and what is holding you back. That honesty can feel uncomfortable at first, like standing in front of a mirror you have been avoiding. But it is also the first step towards real change. When you start to question your routines, you open up space for creativity. You start to see possibilities you did not see before. You realize that there is more than one way to reach your goal, and that some ways are faster, smoother, or more joyful than the ones you have always known. This is not about disrespecting the past. It is about honoring the future. Think about the tools you use, the people you talk to, the steps you take every morning. Are they aligned with the vision you have for yourself? Are they pushing you forward or keeping you in place? These questions can be hard, but they are also freeing. They give you the power to shape your life in a way that feels true to you, not just comfortable. Sometimes the smallest tweaks in your routine can bring the biggest breakthrough. Maybe it is changing the time you wake up, or the way you start your day. Maybe it is about who you spend your time with, or the things you choose to focus on first. Smart work is about experimenting, about testing and learning and adjusting. It is about seeing your life as a living thing that can be shaped and grown, not a fixed plan you have to follow forever. And do not be afraid to let go. Letting go of what no longer serves you is not a sign of failure. It is a sign of wisdom. It shows that you are willing to grow, willing to learn, willing to do what it takes to move forward. That takes courage, and that courage is the mark of someone who is not just working hard but working smart. The most successful people in any field are not the ones who do the same thing every day without question. They are the ones who keep asking themselves how they can do it better. They are the ones who stay curious, who stay hungry, who refuse to settle for good enough when great is possible. So take a moment to look at your routines, see them not as rules set in stone, but as starting points for something greater. Let yourself imagine what could happen if you dared to change. Let yourself believe that there is always a better way waiting to be found. Because when you start to question what you have always done, you start to find the doors that have been waiting to open for you all along. Stay curious and open to learning new methods. Curiosity is a quiet force that can take you further than sheer willpower alone. When you remain curious, you invite possibility into your life. You see the world not as something fixed and rigid, but as something alive, something that is always changing and evolving. That openness is what working smart is all about. Curiosity asks questions. It challenges assumptions. It wonders what would happen if you tried something new. If you looked at a problem from a different angle. It does not settle for the easy answer or the way things have always been done. Curiosity is the spark that lights up your work, that keeps you engaged, even when things get hard. It is the voice inside you that says, there has to be a better way. Being open to learning is about humility. It is about recognizing that no matter how much you know, there is always more to discover. The world is full of people who see things differently than you do, who have experiences and insights you might never have on your own. When you let yourself learn from them, you expand your view of what is possible. You become more adaptable, more flexible, more ready to face whatever comes your way. In a world that changes faster every day, staying curious is not just a nice idea, it is essential. The tools you use today might be outdated tomorrow. The strategies that worked last year might not work this year. If you cling to what you have always known, you risk falling behind. But if you stay open, you give yourself the chance to keep growing, to keep evolving along with the world around you. Curiosity also brings joy. It makes the process of working smarter feel like an adventure, not a chore. When you are curious, every challenge is a puzzle to be solved, every setback a lesson to be learned. You find excitement in the unknown because you trust that whatever you discover will make you stronger. Being open to new methods does not mean you throw away what you have learned. It means you weave the new and the old together, creating something uniquely yours. You respect the foundation you have built, but you are not afraid to add to it, to let it grow in ways you might not have imagined. That blend of tradition and innovation is where true progress lives. It is easy to get stuck in the belief that you have to have everything figured out before you start. But curiosity tells you that you can learn as you go, that every step forward is an opportunity to gather new tools, new ideas, new ways of thinking. When you approach your work with that mindset, you become not just a worker, but a builder, a creator, a student of life itself. Staying curious also means letting go of the fear of failure. When you are focused on learning, mistakes become part of the process, not something to be ashamed of. They become stepping stones, clues that guide you to something better. That shift in perspective can turn frustration into fuel, can turn doubt into determination. So keep asking questions, keep exploring, keep wondering what else might be possible. The world is full of hidden treasures waiting to be uncovered, and curiosity is the key that unlocks them. Let it lead you, even when you are not sure where it will take you. Because working smart is not about having all the answers. It is about being willing to look for them, to learn from them, and to let them shape the path you are walking. When you stay curious and open to learning, you keep yourself alive to the possibilities of your work. You remind yourself that growth is not a one-time thing, but a journey that never really ends. That journey is not always easy, but it is always worth it, because it means you are not just moving forward, you are moving forward with purpose, with heart, and with the quiet power of someone who knows that the smartest way to work is to never stop learning. Use the right tools and resources to make things easier. In a world that moves at lightning speed, relying on outdated methods can hold you back more than you think. You can put in all the effort in the world, but if you're using the wrong tools, you're like someone digging a well with a spoon. The sweat is real, but the results are painfully slow. That's why working smart is about not just how you work, but also what you work with. The right tools can transform the way you operate. They take away the friction, the endless back and forth that can steal your time and energy. They give you the ability to do more in less time. It's not about being fancy or trendy. It's about being effective. When you find the right tools, you don't just save time. You open up space in your mind to think bigger, to plan better, and to create something more powerful. Let's be real. Too many of us are stuck in old habits because that's how we were taught. But today there's a tool for almost everything. There's software that can handle your schedules, your finances, your communication. There's hardware that can make your work smoother, faster, and more precise. The question is not whether you should use them, it's which ones fit your goals best. Don't let the fear of change keep you stuck. Be open to exploring what's out there. Finding the right resources also means finding the right people. Smart work is not about doing everything alone. It's about building a network of support, of knowledge, of different perspectives. When you're surrounded by people who have strengths you don't, you're not just adding extra hands, you're adding new ideas, new ways of seeing the world. That's a resource no machine can replace. Using the right tools is not just about making your life easier. It's about freeing yourself from the small stuff so you can focus on what really matters. When you don't have to waste hours on tasks that can be automated or simplified, you have more room for the work that truly excites you, the work that lights you up inside. Think of it like a garden. If you're trying to plant flowers in hard soil with your bare hands, you're going to struggle. But if you have the right tools, sharp spades, rich compost, proper watering cans, you're not just working harder, you're working smarter. The flowers bloom faster and your back doesn't break in the process. Using the right resources also builds confidence. When you have what you need, you feel more prepared. You're not scrambling to keep up, you're leading the way. You're not just reacting to problems, you're staying ahead of them. That's the quiet power of working with the right tools. And don't be afraid to experiment. Not every tool will be perfect for you, and that's okay. The trick is to keep learning, to keep testing, and to keep refining your toolkit. Because when you find something that clicks, it can change everything. Suddenly, what felt like a mountain becomes a small hill. What felt impossible becomes totally doable. So pay attention to what slows you down. Look for the gaps in your process, the parts that drain your energy. That's where the right tools can make all the difference. Don't let habit or tradition keep you stuck with the wrong gear. Working smart is about using every advantage you can find. It's about turning the small moments of your day into something meaningful, something that moves you forward, something that makes your work not just easier but better in every way.
Oh yeah. Wait for me, girl, wait for me. Wait for me, world, wait for me. I'm chasing dreams, can't you see? I'm just a man, but I'm running free. Gonna keep running till the stars come down. I'll chase that moon till the morning's found. Wait for me, butterfly, wait for me. I'm just trying to set you free. Wait for me, worries, wait for me. I'm only human, just let me be, let me be. keep running till the stars come down. I'll chase that moon till the morning's found. I said, oh yeah, the sugar's gonna bring me to life. I said, oh yeah, the sugar's gonna make it alright. Give me that sweet apple pie. Gonna keep running till the stars come down. Chasing the moon, I won't slow down. Wait for me, butterfly, wait for me. I'm just trying to set you free. Wait for me, troubles, wait for me. I'm only human, just let me be, let me be. Gonna keep running till the stars come down. I chase that moon till the morning's found. And I won't stop till I do, yeah. Gonna keep running till the stars come down. I chase that moon till the morning's found.